We're on to week 3 in the NFL, which means it's prediction time, baby, as well as some of my favorite bets of the week. Remember, stick around because we're going to have Gojos Picks of the week. If you love player prop bets, then you're not going to want to miss this. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, a beautiful football discourse. We're going to start with tonight's game, which we're going to be doing a watch along for the New York football, well, kind of football, Giants taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Right now, the over and under is 44, and San Fran is a big favorite, minus 10.5. Saquon is officially ruled out for this game, as well as Andrew Thomas. And it sounds like Brandon Ayuk for the Niners is going to be a game time decision. But regardless, you're going to be taking the Niners here. The Niners are currently look like the best team in the NFL. Are you going to take that 10.5? That's too big for me. Just give me the San Francisco 49ers on the money line. And I got the over and under at 44.5 yesterday. It dropped a half today. Oh, but I think I'm still taking the under in this game. By the way, if you want to see how I did last week, I got it up here, as well as it's going to switch to how I'm looking for the season. How's that look? How's that look? I think it's on this side. It looks like it's the beginning of the year. But yeah, the overs hit a lot last week, so I was kind of caught flat-footed there. But I think I did pretty well with my money line bets. Some would say a little easy. Let's go ahead to the Sunday slate of games as we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Browns. Obviously, the Browns, they're going to be without Nick Chubb for the rest of the season. They bring in Kareem Hunt, who's going to pair up with Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford, for all intents and purposes, is going to be the bell cow here, but I think we're seeing Kareem Hunt very involved in the passing game. Currently, the Browns are 3.5 point favorites, and the over and under is at 39.5. And golly, you look at that and you want to take the over, right? You want to take the over so bad, but I can definitely see with how good these defenses are, both teams actually getting under that. I mean, do I believe the Titans can get above 17? Because I think the Browns can get to 24. I mean, I think the game could be I think this game's gonna be a lot closer than people think, man. That lack of a run game is gonna really surprise. Initially, I picked the over in this game just because it's so low, but man, I really think I'm gonna backtrack on that and just stay away from the over under altogether. I do like Tennessee plus 3.5 though. I really do. So I think I am gonna backtrack. No over under for this game for Broshmo, but I do like Tennessee plus 3.5. On to the Atlanta Falcons versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had a bit of a surprising loss last week to the Seahawks, who kind of stumbled out the gates. Currently, Lions are 3-point favorites. Over and under set at 46. I'm very tempted to take the over in this game because I think the Lions are going to hit it. And I do think that the run game is going to be tough to stop for the Detroit Lions. The question is, man, I feel like Detroit moneyline might be the safest way to go, but Atlanta's looked really good. They're going to have to force Desmond Ridder into mistakes. It's really what's going to have to happen. I think I'll stick with Detroit moneyline, but you know what? I am going to take the over at 46. I am going to take the over in this case. Okay, we got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay in Lambeau. The Packers are 2-point favorites. The over and under is at 42.5. It's interesting. Tempted to take it, but I think I'm going to leave it at it. The over and under is interesting. I'm going to kind of maybe stick away from that. You do have no Jamal Williams this game, but Kendre Miller sounds like he is good to go. Remember, they are one more. This is the last week of Alvin Kamara's suspension. So Kendre Miller is probably going to be a popular ad on fantasy. But where do I want to go, man? It's really a toss-up for me. I think part of me just doesn't want to touch this game. How will Jordan Love? This will be the best defense Jordan Love has faced. And I know Falcons fans aren't going to like hearing that, but I think the Saints are a better defense. Yeah, I think I'm staying away from this game. Let's go to my Miami Dolphins. Fins up, baby. Fins up. Taking on the Denver Broncos. Miami is a 6.5 point favorite. The over under is at 48.5. I might be smashing the under here. I think I am. I think I'm smashing the under. I don't know if the Broncos could put up that many points. And I know the defense last week wasn't that great for the Broncos. I mean, it was early, and then singing Sam Howell came out slinging. Oh man, this is at Miami though. Oh, that makes it, because like I kind of like Denver plus 6.5 because the Dolphins have played in close games. Man, maybe if you take an alternate spread and maybe give Denver 7.5. But I think I'm gonna take Denver, and this is me betting against my team. I still think Dolphins win. Like Dolphins money line sounds right, but I think I'll take Denver 6.5, and I like that 48.5. I like the under in this case. Okay, we got the Los Angeles Superchargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Over and under is 54. Oh golly, with how these defenses are playing, I'm not gonna risk the over and under here. I'm just gonna say, hey, if you got any fantasy capital in this game, then you play it. Minnesota is -1 and 1 and just one. This one's at home. Part of me wants to take just Chargers money line. I do want to believe the Chargers are a better squad, but can that defense get it together for the Chargers? I mean, they let Ryan Tannehill bounce back and have a good game. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. I think I'd go with Chargers on the money line, though. Not touching the over and under. This would be Cam Akers. I don't know, Cam Akers. I have a feeling since they just did the trade yesterday, it's early enough to get him acclimated. But I think we're going to see a split running back room between him and Alexander Madison until they kind of figure out who is. They'll probably just ride the hot hand, if we're going to be honest. The New York Jets are going to take on the New England Patriots. Over and under is 36.5. I'm not touching that. I'm just not. Last time, like this team, I think last year they had a 10-3 game. I'm just staying away from that crap. The New England Patriots are 2.5 point favorites. I think I would take New England -2.5. The Jets, Zach Wilson, we saw that offense just stupid stagnant. They can't get anything going, especially if the run game ain't going. Then legitimately, the Jets had one big play last week from Garrett Wilson, and that was it when it came to their offense. The Patriots, I think they're a good team. I really do. I think they're a really good team, and I think they will win here in MetLife. Okay, we're going to go to the Buffalo Bills taking on the Washington Commanders. Bills are 6.5 point favorites. I kind of like just Bills on the money line. I do think they're the better team here. I don't know if I'm willing to take Washington plus 6.5 because the Bills have a knack for when they're coming off a depressing defeat that they'll smack the next two teams. So I'm not saying Washington gets smacked in this game, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. The over and under is 43.5. That actually sounds right on the nose, so I'm just going to stay away from that sucker. Houston Texans take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Texans are 9 point underdogs. Ooh, might be safer taking the. I mean, it'd be safer taking the Jags just on the money line. But look at that, taking Jags -9. The Texans are a team that they've lost by double digits in both their games, Grant. And I mean, they were out of that Indianapolis game till Anthony Richardson got hurt, and they honestly scored a lot of points in garbage time. So, ooh, that's tempting, but I think I'm going to stick with just Jags money line as a safer bet. I have a good feeling that the Jags might have a bounce back week. I know that I'm not sure if Jalen Pitre is going to play, but I know Jimmy Ward is expected to play. This is going to be his debut for the Texans. Does that change much? No, I think I might go with the over. I think we're going with the over in this game. Man, those division teams have a knack of playing each other very tightly. Indianapolis Colts take on the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are 7.5-point favorites. Sounds like Anthony Richardson should be good to go. I don't think I've seen anything otherwise. Anthony, let me just confirm. Okay, come on, give me something recent. Okay, well, they said he was out of concussion protocol as of yesterday. So we won't really know more until today's practices. So I'm just going to assume Richardson is good to go here. Ravens 7.5. Just give me Baltimore on the money line. That's just a big number. Over and under is 45. I don't think I want to touch that. Carolina Panthers take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks coming off a big win against Detroit in Motor City. The Seahawks are 6-point favorites, and with how bad Panthers played, I'm tempted to take that. And Bryce Young's kind of a question mark for this game. I think he's dealing with, maybe it was an ankle injury, I think. He's probably going to be good to go, but I think I'm going to take Seattle -6. I think I am. I think I'm going to do it. Over and under is 42. That feels pretty on the nose to me. The Chicago Bears are going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites. Oh man, Justin Fields, how his start has kind of tanked this spread, but I see 47 was 40 and 7.5 yesterday because a lot of people were smashing that under. As will I. I'm gonna hit the under on this. I'm just gonna take Kansas City on the money line. 12.5 is just too big. This ain't college football. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 12-point underdogs, and part of me wants to take that +12. The Cardinals have come out and been like, hey, we're playing these teams close. They have not faced a team of the caliber of the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Giants fans. Sorry, Washington fans. Cowboys are just right now in another stratosphere with how they're playing. I would stay away from that. See, even GoJo agrees. I'd stay away from that number. Just take Dallas on the money line. Over and under is 43. Was 43.5 yesterday. People are smashing that under, as will I. I'm going to go with the under in this game. Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Kayla, what you doing? Raiders are 2.5-point favorites. Ooh, that's so tempting. I think I like Pittsburgh +2.5. This is kind of a get right game for Pittsburgh. They have a really good defense here. I think that'll probably pull them along in this game. Over and under is 43. I think that's good. I think that's solid. I'm gonna stay away from that number. Keep me away from that figure. That's gonna be our Sunday night watch along game, by the way. We got a double header on Monday night. That sucks. I hate that. Why do you have two games going on at the same time? I don't know. NFL's stupid. Well, it probably makes them a lot of money, so they're not stupid. They just don't care about fans' viewing experiences. That's just an opinion. But Eagles are 5-point favorites over the Buccaneers. Over and under is 46. I kind of want to hit the under on there. I could see this being a similar game to like the Patriots Eagles, where it was 25-20. Actually, I think I am going to go with the under there. Initially, I wasn't going to pick an under here, but I think I'm going to go with under 46. We got probably Philly money line. is the way to go. Tampa Bay +5 does intrigue me though, but I'm going to go Philly money line. And then the game that we're going to be watching, the Rams versus the Bengals. This is a big get right game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Does it happen? I don't know. Rams have been honestly a good team thus far this season. The offensive line, yeah, it's kind of pee poo poo, but the playmakers have been really good. The defense has overperformed to a degree. Like it's still Aaron Donald and insert whatever name here. There's always a new player that kind of steps up week to week right now for the Rams. Typically been Byron Young. He's had a solid year, the rookie out of Tennessee, but they're getting nothing from the rest of this defense. Like this is like a must win for the Bengals. It's a must win. I'm not touching this game. Bengals are 3-point favorites. Over and under is 44. I'm not touching it. I'm not going to bet on the Bengals getting right in this game, but they have to. This is kind of a must for the Bengals. Like they started 0-2 last season, then they started getting their groove. I don't think they can do that. I know that currently Burrow, he's nursing the calf injury. Everything came back negative on that, so he should be good to go. They have to win this game. This is a must win, in my opinion, for the Bengals. That's how I see it. But let's go ahead and get to GoJo's Picks of the Week. Welcome to GoJo's Picks of the Week, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Remember, when you use promo code Broshmo, when you sign up at Underdog Fantasy, they will match that first deposit up to $100 a dues. So you put in 100, they will give you 200 to play with. You deposit 40, they'll give you 80 right now. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play weekly best ball. I'm currently in a best ball for Thursday and Sunday night football, but they also have higher and lower player prop bets essentially, and that's what we're going to go over today. Some of Gojo's favorite picks. Last week got lucky on a couple because I insured them, but it wasn't Gojo's finest weeks. Also injury played into that because of the Nick Chubb thing, kind of screwed me, but I said, screwed you, Gojo. But let's go over some of his favorite picks this week, as he has CeeDee Lamb higher than 72.5 rushing and receiving yards. Take that whenever you can get it. They take on the Arizona Cardinals, and I just think the slot position is going to be wide open there for CeeDee Lamb. He's having a monster year thus far. We got Isaiah Hodgins lower than 31.5 receiving yards. They're spreading the ball out a ton, and this game's going to be incredibly tough against San Francisco. This is one of, if not the best defense in all of football. So with them spreading the ball all over the place, and I know no Saquon's kind of a big thing. So like there's going to be more volume for some of these guys, but I think Hodgins might be the guy that we'll see. Even if he sees like 4 receptions, I think he could be under that 31 total. But if you're tempted to take the under or the lower with Waller receiving yards, I think you should go and do that. I really do, because the Niners are just really good against opposing tight ends. Deshaun Watson, I'm taking the lower on rushing yards. That man, I wouldn't say he was like a top end athlete at the quarterback position for his days back in Houston, but he was able to create with his feet. Doesn't look that way so much despite how many design stuff they have for him. So I'm going to go with the lower at 26.5. Isaiah Pacheco, I think this is going to be a game where they feed him a lot because they're going to be up a lot. Currently, the mark's at 55.5 rushing yards. I think he's going over that this week. And then Tyler Algier, they started leaning more heavily on Bijan, and I think that's just going to be more true this week. And I think Algier might be limited to maybe like red zone work or even early down work to some cases. So I like him under at 40.5 rushing yards. Let's go to a couple other ones we like this week. I got Derrick Henry lower than 82.5. He has been splitting touches with Tajay Spears. I mean, he's still getting a significantly large amount of the workload, but last week Tajay Spears did have 10 touches. That's kind of key. This Cleveland defense ain't nothing to play with. That 82 number is just too large. James Cook, I got him at higher than 73.5 rushing and receiving yards. That combined, he had over 100. I think he had 123 rushing yards last week. I think he's still going to be very involved in having receiving yards included in that. Makes me like that number just that much better. I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill. They got a special on Tyreek Hill for their 100K Sunday. I'm going to go with him lower than 91.5. He's going to be matched up with Patrick Surtain. And Surtain, I think it's going to be a fun battle. It's going to be a really fun battle. And I mean, I think there's going to be times where Tyreek can't break out. But I mean, he just had, 44 yards this past weekend? Or this past Sunday against the Dolphins. Against the Patriots. So I think he could probably be held under that 91.5 number. CJ Stroud. I think there's going to be some garbage time in here, and I think he is going to be throwing a ton. Give me that higher on 22.5 or 222.5. And then I got Daniel Jones lower than 9.5 completions. Listen, I don't care about how many attempts he takes. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to move the ball effectively in this game. The Niners defense is that good. Maybe they could opt to dink it and dunk it in, which could inflate those numbers, but I kind of like that 19.5 completions. I like him going lower than that. But hey, y'all, I know this is my channel. I know y'all love college football, so let's get to some college football bets with Broshmo's cowardice picks of the week. Here are some of my favorite college bets of the week. And as always, please remember to bet responsibly, my friends. Bet within your means. But taking a look here, here's my big parlay, right? I got a 10-legger here. I'm taking Florida -2.5. I think this is a game where they want to come out and make a statement after I said Florida State. Haha, I don't know, man. Florida's on the up right now, but Florida State at 2.5. I think this is a bounce back game after playing Boston College exceptionally close. I know Clemson, they've kind of been looking much better since the Duke game, but it's also been a ton of cupcakes. So I think Florida State can clear that 2.5. I did have an alternate spread here. I think Texas A&M was at 7.5, and I don't like that. That's too much against Auburn. I think 6.5. I can see it being a touchdown game, so that 6.5 number feels pretty good to me. Oklahoma, they've been smacking teams left and right, and Cincinnati just had a big letdown game against Miami, Ohio. So I'm going to take Oklahoma clearing the 14.5. I think you could probably bet that down to 13.5 and probably feel better about that, but it is what it is. TCU, I think TCU's offense is finally humming. I know SMU is a team that can put up points too, but I think TCU comes in here at home and they make a statement game. I really do. I'm going to take them at 6.5. This one could be a little shiesty. Colorado, 21 is such a big number. I know it's in Eugene. I do think Oregon's going to win this game, but that 21 number is just so big, too big to ignore. I believe in Coach Prime. I don't think he's going to let this team get lambasted by 20 points. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take them at plus 21. Utah versus UCLA. We don't know if Cam Rising or Brent Kuthi will be back for this game just yet. That's why I'm not picking a winner. I'm just taking the under. Utah has been hitting the under easy. It's been child's play for Utah. So I think they do hit the under in this game at 52.5. UCLA's kind of got a new offense as well. And I know they've been humming, but Utah, a much tougher defense. Duke has been covering. Good teams win, great teams cover, and Duke has shown they can be a great team. This is their biggest one yet at 21.5 against Connecticut. I think they could do it. If you want to bet that down to like 19.5, I don't blame you. I have Tennessee smacking UTSA. UTSA has probably been one of the biggest letdowns in college football. They brought back a lot of talent. They did lose some talent, but they brought back a lot of talent. Frank Harris has looked terrible. So I like Tennessee after a big loss to Florida. This one's at home. I think they come in and they're like, no, we need a big statement game. And unfortunately, UTSA is kind of the right team for a statement game. This one was tough for me. LSU, Arkansas. Sounds like there's no Raheem Sanders, so I don't know if Arkansas is going to be able to put up points on the shoulders of KJ Jefferson. I don't know if he has enough playmakers to do that. LSU has been a scary defense this year. Remember, really, their only fault came against Florida State when Florida State had 31 unanswered points, but they were without Mason Smith that game as well. I think this is LSU. I think it's going to come in. They're going to run the table. My question is, does LSU score too much? But I believe in that Arkansas defense as well, though. They kind of let me down against Keaton Slovis. And then here, low key, man, Sam Houston and against Houston, Sam Houston State plus 12.5. I kind of like that. The over and under on this game is 38.5. So low scoring affair. Houston, a team that's lost a ton of talent. They've not been that good this season, especially offensively. Sam Houston, I think they could cover that 12.5. That's my big bet. Gets me 5,500 if I hit it. But remember, hey, I always break down my parlays into smaller ones. I got a big just money line on some what I think is sure wins. Through 5 gets me 25. Basically, that's what I'm playing with this week is 25. I always set a budget. And I hope to make that back on that one. But I did break down this into a couple of other parlays. Maybe I'm trying to see if I included anything new. Those my other ones here. Okay, I did take. So BYU going to Kansas. BYU's starting to play really well. They beat a really good Arkansas team last week. They go into Kansas. Kansas has been a team putting up a lot of points, but I think BYU could keep it close. I like that plus 8.5, though it did scare me enough not to put it in my big parlay, my big money parlay, I should say. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.